What a shame, huh? How far the country, the courts have fallen. And speaking of that, let me dive right into this story of what's happening in America. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was America. It's not America? Arrested for ethnic intimidation in America. Well, what he was doing might not have been. It certainly didn't seem wise at all. Seemed like it came from a place of evil. A place. It's a liberal word. From a place of, or a woman word. Came from a spirit of evil, of anger. This was a tip, hat tip to the tipper in the YouTube comments, Fentanyl Floyd, 5558. And I disavow that username too. It's a reference to Georgia, Florida. This is from Stop Anti-Semites, December 2nd. And I have some tweets and pictures and screenshots and clips, a few clips. So I'm going to try to plow through this, guys, for you. Guys. December 2nd, tweet. Horrifying! While Jewish parents were dropping off their kids at Temple Beth El daycare in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, earlier this morning, December 2nd, a man in the white van outrageously screams, F-blip the Jews and F-blip Israel while driving by. And if you look at the picture in there, if you're watching the video feed, and this tweet looks like it was edited. It says last edited 8:48 a.m. December 2nd. Huh. Tweets can be edited now? Thank you, Elon. Or no thank you, Elon Musk. I don't know what that means. But anyway, if you look at the photograph seen here, this man in a white van. Cover your ears, kids. Rape van. Sorry, kids. I didn't give you sufficient time to cover your ears. Parents, I apologize. I've censored it, but I put a red bar over it. He's sticking up his middle finger. Don't do that, kids. Or adults. And somebody took a photo of it. A Jewish person said, "Oh, look at this beautiful photo. Look at these beautiful woods off the side of the road. Let me take a picture of this. Oh, there's an anti-Semite sticking up his middle finger at me. A vulgar gesture. A rude gesture." So Stop Anti-Semites on Twitter also tweeted, update. Hassan Choker, 35-year-old Hassan Yahia. Oh no, Hassan Yahia Choker, Chokr, has been arrested and charged with 2 felony county. And I left that in. They meant counts of ethnic intimidation. I'd never heard of that word before, or that term. At least not in America. I feel like maybe I've heard it in UK, in clips from UK. After his home was or racial abuse, they use the word racial abuse. After his home was searched and social media posts were shared with authorities of Choker's intent to purchase a firearm. He is currently being housed at the Oakland County Jail. So here's the clip 11. Clip 11, guys. Listen to this clip. It's from YouTube. This was the link that Fentanyl Floyd 5558 shared. Man charged with ethnic intimidation goes off on Oakland County judge, Oakland, Michigan, I guess, Oakland County, Michigan. During the hearing, this is from YouTube channel, click on Detroit, Local 4, WDIV. About a 3-minute long report. Listen to this.
We're going to begin at 5 with a Dearborn man facing ethnic intimidation charges for going on an anti-Semitic and racist rant outside an Oakland County synagogue. Glad you're with us on this Monday at 5. Today, 35-year-old Hassan Choker appeared in court and went off on the judge as he was arraigned on a number of charges stemming from the incident at Temple Bethel.
Choker was given $1 million bond and a long string of restrictions if he's able to post it. Rod Maloney live at Temple Bethel tonight. Rod, so as the judge read those restrictions is when he went off.
Yes, and it was interesting to see what and where he went off. You'd be thinking that $1 million bond would get your attention, but it was something else that got that. We'll see that in a second. But as you can well imagine, security out here is very tight. They're deeply concerned out here at Temple Bethel about this incident that happened on Friday, but there has been drama all weekend that brought us to this. Shakur is under $1 million cash bond, which he doesn't have. Yet it was losing social media privileges setting him off.
Including but not limited to Instagram. You may not use or possess any weapon or firearm. There's to be no...
Charged with 2 felony counts of ethnic intimidation, Shakur claims that his arrest violates his freedom of speech, screaming,
"The way you're judging me, God's gonna judge you the same way."
Mr. Shakur, you're not helping yourself.
I don't care.
Shakur took and posted video of himself screaming at people at Temple Bethel whether they support Israel and shouting, "Shame on you." Later, he recorded a Bloomfield Township police stop when the incident ended up reported. Temple Bethel Rabbi Mark Miller told Local 4.
This was terrorizing for a lot of us, for those who were here.
The traffic stop video showed up on social media, giving many, including the rabbi, pause as to why he wasn't arrested then.
He said on video to the police officers, "I'm going to another synagogue." So it felt very threatening, and I guess I can't comment on how they work behind the scenes, but it looked very bad.
Bloomfield Township Police Chief John Gallagher told Local 4 these cases are tough to prove.
At the time, we did not have the information to meet the threshold of the ethnic intimidation that we, at that time, we needed to further that investigation, and part of that is making sure we positively identify the subject that was driving that van.
Crazy, huh?
Now, Bloomfield Township Police are stepping up their patrols of not only this synagogue, but others and other facilities in the area to make sure something like this doesn't happen again anytime soon. There's so much to this story. For instance, it was Dearborn police who actually picked up Shakur. They did that Saturday morning, brought him here Sunday. He was brought to the Oakland County Jail where he remains tonight. Shakur returns to court in 2 weeks. Reporting live in Bloomfield Township, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
Story we will continue to follow. Rod, thank you.
And we will continue to follow it. I'm sure you will. Why is the media so interested in words? Words. Drama. Well, I guess we're all interested in drama. But it's not, to me, it's not that important of a story. But it is interesting in the terms of human interest. And I agree with JLP's message about anger. And also on a First Amendment type of thing. The guy has a point about the First Amendment. This hate crime stuff, ethnic intimidation, is that considered part of a hate crime? It seems like it. Because I could understand intimidation. But about ethnic intimidation, why do you have to add that thing to it? To me, I think that's extra punishment. Feels like extra punishment, because it is, I'm pretty sure, for not drama, hate content. Yes. Content. Drama is content. What was I saying? You know, it's a violation of the First Amendment, these hate crime things. Punching a person is bad, right? Or threatening them, or bothering them. Disturbing the peace. You know, I think I like that disturbing the peace thing sometimes. You know, that arrest this man, he's disturbing the peace. But we have like a corrupt government that says, oh, you can't, if you say the N-word while punching someone, that's extra punishment, meaning they're violating your freedom of speech. You have the freedom of speech to say the N-word or to say vulgar state. I mean, you shouldn't be cussing in public, but it's not about cussing in public. It's about hate, ethnic intimidation, hate speech. Hate crimes. What a mess. You guys get my point? I've made this point many times before. So his last name is pronounced, according to these people, Shakur. Shakur. Shakur, like Tupac Shakur, Shakur, even though it's spelled Chokr. I was pronouncing it choker. And I was pronouncing it Hassan, like our Hassan. But no, this is the good Hassan, the man over here in the board, operating the board. But this is a bad Hassan. Hassan. And the rabbi, he was playing kind of, I'm starting to get this sense, and I don't know if it's an accurate sense. I feel like it is, that a lot of these people who play on this notion of anti-Semitism, they play a sort of a good cop, bad cop thing, whether they're intending to do it or not. It feels like the rabbi wasn't even really playing good cop. I didn't catch it when it was playing, but I caught it when I first played the clip for myself when I was preparing for the show yesterday. He used the word terrorize. Oh no, terrorism, terrorized. And that's terrorism, right? Was that terrorism that guy was doing? Was it political violence? If he made a threat, I guess you could call that an act of threat of violence. I don't know if he actually made threats. I didn't hear the actual threats that he allegedly said. That this person, they call him a man. I don't necessarily call him a man. I might call him crazy with anger. But I don't know what he actually... But anyway, they may have been terrified, but they weren't. It wasn't necessarily terrorism. You know, so certain people scare easily. They scare easily. And then to me, this is way overboard. Did you catch that? $1 million cash bond, according to this Jay Dupanak, Fox 2 reporter. 35-year-old Hassan Shakur, getting used to that pronunciation, in America. Real nice American name. This is Dearborn area, Dearborn, Michigan, where a lot of Muslims are taking over, which probably these Jewish people voted for. They voted for this takeover. $1 million cash bond, no 10%. And I don't know what that no 10% means, but I think that in general, if you get sent to jail, you have a certain amount of bail, you have to pay 10% of that. But I guess this person had to pay $1 million rather than, what's 10% of $1 million? Million? Is that 100,000? I don't know. 100,000? Somebody help me. 10 million? 10,000? I don't know, man. I'm shaking my head at my lack of math. And I used to be good at math, but I let it go. I got a W. I withdrew. This is a side note. I'm rambling. I withdrew from, the Hakes are good at math. I withdrew from Calculus BC at Pasadena City College because I just started going underwater. I didn't want to do this long project that the Asian teacher was giving me. I'm like, let me get a W, withdraw. After too many weeks, you can withdraw and get a W, which is kind of like an F, but it's a W instead. Did you know? So anyway, I don't know. 100. It's bothering me. I feel like I want to check, but let me suppress that ego. So here's clip 12, 100,000. Thank you, Hassan. The Muslims, and Hassan is descended from the Muslims, are excellent at math. They invented algebra, I heard. So anyway, let me get to clip 12, guys. Here's the raw video footage from the courtroom. Jewish bloop. This is a clip from Stop Anti-Semitism. Semites. Jewish bloop. Zionist bloop. And I disavow those words, of course. We're about love. It may have been accurate statements, but they were not said. The truth must be spoken in love, not in anger. Otherwise, it's not truth. Hassan Shakur to Judge Nelson-Klein, a female judge, today at his arraignment. Listen to this clip, minute and a half.
Supervised by pretrial services. They will have authority to do testing, random testing for drugs and alcohol, and my turn, and your GPS tether. You'll be fingerprinted at the Oakland County Jail. On that GPS tether, you may only, thank you, let the record reflect that you just gave the court the finger.
I censored it.
You may only leave your house. My turn. Can you mute him, please?
God is gonna judge you. Remember, the way you're judging me, God's gonna judge you the same way.
Mr.
Remember
Shakur,
that.
you're not helping yourself.
Thank you.
I don't care.
You may only leave your house for medical appointments, court appearances, or for your attorney visits only. You're on house arrest. You must turn in any and all weapons of any type to the Bloomfield Township Police Department upon release. Detective, did I miss anything?
You, detective.
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Fillmore, any
You guys are all
questions?
bull. Your system is bull. Your system's gonna collapse. Your system's gonna collapse. You're taking my freedom of speech away. My freedom's away. In the end of the day, your freedom gonna stripped away from you. You will not see heaven, and you will be doomed to hell, and you will see my words are true. You go ahead and give me that harsh punishment. You'll see the punishment God's gonna give you. I'm a God-fearing man. I don't hurt nobody. I didn't have no intent to hurt nobody. I was practicing my freedom of speech.
So we got to hear a little bit more of his side. He claims that he was not going to hurt anybody, nobody, and he's a God-fearing man. And I don't know if that's accurate. He may think he is. He seems mad. But don't be mad, man. Don't be mad. Shoker was charged with felonious counts of ethnic intimidation. I'm shaking my head at that charge. After harassing Jewish families dropping their kids off at daycare at Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. No words, says Stop Anti-Semites on Twitter. Thank you. Let the record show you gave the court the finger. Something like that. I'm laughing, but don't do that, kids. It's not funny. $1 million cash bond, no 10%. So this part is funny. It's not funny, but I'm laughing. Oh, let me read that part. Hassan over here is showing, let's see. Hassan Shakur's, if you could zoom in down at the bottom of that one. His bond has been set at $1 million. If he is able to post out, he will be subject to house arrest. Stop Anti-Semitism, that's the name of their Twitter, grossly disagrees with this bond option as this man has professed a desire to obtain a handgun and harm Jewish individuals, including children. And that's what Stop Anti-Semitism claims. But this person, Hassan Shakur says that he didn't intend to hurt anybody, which who knows? Who knows? Because I didn't get to see any evidence, any of the actual evidence, footage, So anyway, a little update on a little side note here. Click on Detroit. It says Dearborn man charged in. Oh, you can show his mugshot. Charged in anti-Semitic incident, so-called, has bond revoked in a separate case. On Tuesday, Hassan Shakur was in front of a Wayne County judge. And what are all these female judges? They have no authority. No natural authority, that is, Like, come on. That voice doesn't instill fear or respect. But anyway, for an emergency bond hearing on separate charges. So this guy has run-ins with the law. Shakur sealed his own fate with another disrespectful courtroom outburst during the emergency bond hearing. Shakur, not Tupac Shakur, mooned the judge. Kids, don't ask what it is. We'll tell you when you're older. The kids probably know better than us. Who'd released him on bond. The judge had released him on bond and he mooned him. 2.5 years ago, he released him on bond over a felony case in Dearborn. Mooning the judge. I'm laughing, but it's not funny. I disapprove. Is one of 2 disrespectful acts that Shakur, I'm getting used to his name, has done within 24 hours on Monday. The Dearborn man flipped the judge off with his middle finger. Don't do that, kids. Wayne County 3rd District Court Judge Regina Thomas released Shakur on $10,000 bond in a case where he ended up charged with assault with a deadly weapon. So he has been violent before, allegedly. And assaulting a police officer. Look, I censored the middle finger. He's flipping off the judge in the court. And luckily they don't have any picture of him mooning the other judge. 2 female judges. What a slap in the face to the poor Muslim man. I'm assuming he's Muslim, right? That case, at the height of the China virus, came as a result of an angry outburst at the Islamic Center of America, on Ford Road, where he allegedly assaulted a female volunteer and ended up with Dearborn police chasing him down the street as he carried a gun. His assaulting a police officer case has yet to go to trial. So we don't know. I don't know what the truth is. All over words. And let me read this little tidbit. I know I'm spending a long time on this, but it's so interesting to me, I guess. I got caught up maybe. My mind went away from my body and I got into this story too much maybe. But you're going to have to grin and bear it because here it is. And sure enough, I was thinking about this. Are they going to blame Kanye West for this? Are they going to blame whoever, like, oh, words? You know, because Kanye's been expressing words. Maybe angry words, I don't know. He says he loves them, but I disavow Kanye West, I guess, for the sake of my YouTube channel. Yair Rosenberg. YAIR_Rosenberg. Don't harass him, though, guys. Don't harass him. Don't bother him. I'm serious. Anyway, December 1st, writer at The Atlantic, teller of stories, troller of Nazis. So he's trolling you guys. Don't get trolled. Don't get sucked in. By Nazis, I mean anybody who's white, I guess. Anyway, as you watch, this is the tweet from Yair Rosenberg. If you could zoom in on this red circled part, because I gave this big old screenshot because there's so much going on in these few tweets in his Yair Rosenberg, this relevant person who's tweeting. The Atlantic, far left, enemies of America media outlet. I don't know anything about this Yair Rosenberg guy. He tweeted though, as you watch Kanye use Zionists as a lazy code for Jews, I hope you will remember it later because he is far from the only one who does this. Anti-Semitism, and he spells it all with one word, not with a hyphen. That's what a lot of these victim activists want to turn it into just all one word. Regularly wraps itself in respectable euphemisms, which helps it spread with plausible deniability. And so he tweeted a few days later, last week, a man drove up to Michigan's oldest Jewish congregation. That's right. That temple, Beth El, was founded in something like 1850 in America. Wow. A man drove up to Michigan's oldest Jewish congregation and menaced parents and kids at the daycare there, according to reports, right? According to these people. So, what a mess. So, all over words, like overreacting to words. And yeah, he had a run-in with cops, according to the story, like he was charged with having a gun and assault with a deadly weapon or something. I don't know. In a separate incident. At a mosque place, Islamic Center, that's a Muslim place with a female and cops. So listen to this. Let's wrap it up with a nice closing. It's not a closing to the story, but December 6th, family of this Dearborn man, they use the term man loosely, suspected of hate crime. They did call it a hate crime. I'm shaking my head at the notion of a hate crime. Just charge him with intimidation if you want to. but not ethnic intimidation. That shouldn't even be a thing. This is according to CBS Detroit. Here's the YouTube video from this is clip 13. The brother apologizes. 2 minutes long. Here it is.
An update on a Dearborn man accused of making anti-Semitic threats outside a synagogue in Bloomfield Township. The family of Hassan Choker is now speaking out. They say he is suffering from serious mental health issues and that they have a message for the Jewish community affected by his actions. Detroit Now's Gino Vici spoke with those family members today. He joins us from Ford Road and Inkster in Garden City.
When I saw my brother in the video, I was sad. I was sad for the little kids. I was sad for the parents. I was sad for everybody who had to be exposed to that.
Hussein Choker says his family felt compelled to speak out tonight after his brother Hassan was arrested and then charged for an alleged ethnic intimidation incident outside Temple Bethel in Bloomfield Township. Choker says he feels horrible about what happened.
On behalf of my community and my family, we would like to apologize to the Jewish community in the Temple Bethel for what my brother has done.
According to Bloomfield Township Police, Hassan Choker pulled into the parking lot at Temple Bethel on Friday afternoon and began to make threatening statements to security guards right before parents were scheduled to pick up their children.
What are you gonna do if I don't?
Hussein says he wants to make clear what his brother did was wrong, but also says he is suffering from mental health issues and he's hopeful he gets the help he needs and not just thrown in jail.
So my brother has been in and out of police stations, he's been in and out of jails, he's been in and out of hospitals. It's just been a really, really rough 3 years for our family.
Hassan Choker was arraigned on Monday inside an Oakland County courthouse. He lashed out at the judge when his $1 million bond was announced.
Only leave your house.
While Hussein and his family wait to see what happens to his brother, legally speaking, they plan to visit Temple Bethel to make a donation and apologize in person. Meanwhile, he's also hoping to bring awareness to Hassan's mental health struggles and has this message for his sibling.
Brother, I love you infinitely. I'll always be there for you, no matter what, up or down. I pray for you.
In Garden City, I'm Gino Vici.
Isn't that nice? Wasn't that nice? I thought it was well-meaning of that. The brother. Two strapping young lads, light-skinned Muslim guys with dark hair. I don't know where they're from. Hassan Choker and Hussein. Hassan and Hussein Choker. No relation to Tupac. Tupac. Rest in peace, Tupac. Tupac. Shaking my head. What a mess, huh? Let me read some live chat here. You can call in, guys. 888-775-3773. I saw some interesting statements over here. Tyler over there at the Facebook crew. Shout out to the Facebook crew. Says, weak brother. Yeah, I suppose so. I suppose. But not as weak as this other brother. Or maybe they're both weak. One is compliant, the other rebelling. Both weak, right? The rebel and the person who conforms to the mama of the culture. Mama culture. That's what it is. Control freak culture. You can't say these words. Canadian David said, over there on D Live, said, looks like he has a gun on to his head. Oh, yeah, huh? He did look kind of scared. That's true. I thought you were saying that it looks like he has a gun in his hand, meaning the suspect. But no, gun to his head. Yeah, he does look scared. Kind of deer in headlights type of a look. True. Everything is upside down. Says intimidation or threats? Good point. I'm not for this intimidation nonsense. I'm for threats. But people use like veiled threats. And then they have that word that the Yair Rosenberg used, plausible deniability. I didn't make any specific threats. And you can get away with veiled threats, but not specific threats. And so it's intimidation, I guess. You know, in terms of the law, what a mess. Fred Johnson, first they came for the mental cases, but I wasn't one. And that's a reference to this old, what is that, a Jewish proverb? First they came for the radical homosexuals, but I was not a radical homosexual. Then they came for the bankers, but I was not a banker. I don't know what all they came for. First they came for, let's update it to American, as Americans, we Americans might understand. First they came for those Daily Stormer guys, but I was not a Daily Stormer guy. They also came for the so-called neo-Nazis, but I was not a neo-Nazi. Then they came for, who all they come for? Big Bear, Owen Benjamin, but I was not Owen Benjamin or a bear. Then they came for Alex Jones, but I was not an InfoWars fan, at least not that much. And then they came for, who else they've been coming for? But I was not that. Then the January 6ers, I was not January 6er. And before that, though, they came for the Unite the Right guys, but I did not go to Charlottesville, thank God. And then now they're coming for everybody, all Trump supporters. But some of you guys are abandoning Trump. And now America is gone. Thank you, Fred Johnson. That's deep. Felony? Yeah, exactly, Space Cadet. I don't understand how it's a felony. John Frederick says, I'm going to need some video proof. Yeah, me too, except that I'm not that interested in this story. Other than that, I see this as, I thought this was America. I'm sorry, I thought this was America. I do wish everybody well in this story. There's that the rabbi who is fearful on behalf of the families and children and himself maybe, and the poor criminal guy, alleged criminal guy, who's just out of control, angry. He sees the insanity and it's driving him even more insane. He's already insane, maybe mama type thing. Wonder what the family situation is like. Crazy.